A very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us on the Friday edition of the show. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Well, before my partner comes on, let me give you a quick rundown of what to expect on the show tonight. We will be talking about the Nigeria Professional Football League. Of course, we'll be talking about the aftermath of the decision the federal government of Nigeria has taken to withdraw Nigeria from international basketball for the next 2 years. We'll take some reactions from a cross-section of people talking about that decision made by the federal government. We will also take a look at the English Premier League tomorrow, the oldest cup competition, the final of the oldest cup competition in the world will be played. That's the FA Cup. It's going to be between Liverpool and Chelsea. We'll also talk about that as we move on the show. We will take reactions from the managers as they prepare their teams for crucial matches to be played in the English Premier League. Just 2 sets of matches left. And probably after tomorrow's game, we probably should have an idea of who's going to be winning the league. That's if we don't already know. And of course, we will take a look at CAF club competitions, and we have guys in the studio who will be doing justice to all of that as we move on the show. Once again, that's the outlook of the show tonight. It promises to be exciting and entertaining. All we ask you to do is just to sit back, relax as we take you through everything happening in the fast space, money spinning, exciting, in most cases rewarding world of sports. While I wait for my partner to join in, let me quickly introduce our guest from the Lagos studio. He's going to be with us from start to finish. As a guest on Fridays, Ikena Okechukwendu joins us, and Ikena, greetings to you. Another loaded Friday.
Yeah, I'm a permanent fixture on Fridays now. Happy to be here. It's really, really loaded as we are winding down to the end of the season, especially in football. So FA Cup comes up this weekend. Champions League, African Champions League, we'll know the finalists by Saturday evening. So it's getting exciting. And not forgetting the Nigerian Premier League is heading towards the climax. So it's really good to discuss them this Friday.
All right. It's going to be good to have that discussion. It's not just going to be the two of us. As usual on Friday, we're going to have other people join in so that we can have a robust conversation in and around all of those exciting things lined up for this weekend. Okay, so let's move on the show to set the ball rolling. Let's talk about this piece of news as it concerns table tennis in Nigeria. The Nigeria Table Tennis Federation has revealed that the best players will be selected to represent the country for next week's ITTF Africa competitions. The Molade Okoya Thomas Hall of the Teslim Balogun Stadium in Surulere, Lagos, will host 3 tournaments with the World Championships regional qualification for the West African teams kickstarting the tournament on May the 19th to the 21st. Nigerian players have been engaged in intensive training sessions at the Remo Stars complex in Ikene, Ogun State, ahead of the 3 competitions. Samuel Boboye, Aziz Sholanke, Taiwo Mati, Tosin Olivamishe, and Ajoke Ojomu are some of the players to spearhead Nigeria's charge at the competition. Let's just quickly take some reactions as we're preparing for this big one. Then we come back to talk some more on plans to select the best players.
We are giving the younger players an opportunity to meet with the aging player. That is number 1. Number 2, before we call them for trials, 2 weeks ago, there's a trials that we hosted in Lagos. We invited all the podium players. All the players that you see here, I can vouch. Anybody can also vouch. Who is a table tennis family can tell you, in any tournament we play, for instance, about 2 years ago, each one of them get to the podium stage. Some of the players that you are seeing here, with the diaspora player, they will do the job. And some of them here, we meet with the diaspora to make the Commonwealth game team, both men and the women.
It's going to be a very challenging week for us, because I'm sure even our opponents, most especially the Egyptians, are also preparing really hard for the tournament. But then I believe with our hard training here, we should be able to give our best, and I am really optimistic for a better result.
I'm glad that I am opportune to be able to participate in this tournament, because of course we are much. So you given the privilege to perform in this kind of tournament, you have to put your A game into it, and it's a platform to showcase what you have. And I am very happy to be among the people that will partake in the tournament, and I want to put in my best, and this camp is here to give us that emotional stability and mental stability to have focus in the game and to be able to bring out what people are expecting from us, or more than what we are supposed to give.
With the coaches, we have international coaches, so they are really help us a lot. So the practice was so intensive, as you can see. So we are preparing so hard.
To be an intense tournament, we're having 3 tournaments in a row, and we are here to practice well in order to play very well and try our best in the tournament.
All right. The guy is preparing for 3 tournaments in a row, and that's huge. And you talk about intense preparations, and the players talking about we started with the coach Nasri Bello talking about the criteria for selection of players, what they intend to do, and the players to bearing their minds. And the Molade Okoya Thomas Hall of the Teslim Balogun will be a beehive of activities. 3 tournaments back to back will be held there, and we're hoping at the end of the day all these trainings will yield the desired results. So, let me come to you. I like the optimism. I like the vibes. I like what I'm getting from the players, and I also like the togetherness.
Yeah. I must say that I was a bit when I was listening to the news, I was trying to find out the players that will play. They're not household names, but the coach said something that in the last tournaments or last 2 tournaments there have been podium. There have been players that got to the podium stage. That means got to the semi-finals. So that means they're going into the competition with a lot of confidence. Mm-hmm. And with this training, that means they're going to tie up all loose ends. So it's an opportunity for us to develop more players. You know, somebody that can challenge Aruna Kadri and the rest of them for their title and their crown. So happy to see them. Happy to see new faces. Happy to see how far. Maybe we will now monitor them and watch the event and see how far they can go. Nigeria is a big table tennis country. Mm-hmm. But like one of the players mentioned, Egypt is also coming and they're also preparing. They have been they have been a thorn in the flesh for Nigeria. So in these recent times, I think we've done well in terms of individual plays and in terms of making sure that all our players have competitions. You know, there is always something happening at that Okoya Thomas center. So it's good to see. It's really, really good to see. At least that's what we're saying about other sports. They should have competitions like this and bring out players from different. And now we don't know these players before. Now we know them. So we are going to see more of them. We're going to, hopefully, like the coach said, they're going to finish in that podium stage.
Yeah, which is the real essence of the competition.
If you get to the semi-final stage, you've really tried. You made the mark. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So Austin is now with us, and of course, it was nodding, smiling, hearing some of the things we're saying. Greetings to you, Austin. It's been a busy day for you. I can understand, but here we are talking about table tennis in Nigeria. And of course, how busy the Molade Okoya Thomas of the Teslim Balogun Stadium will be in the next few weeks. And we're hoping at the end of the day, Nigerians can truly shine.
What's greetings to you, Yemi, Ikena, and of course, our viewers joining us from different parts of the world. I'm super excited to be on the show tonight. Yes, you know, I love table tennis and listening to some of those players. I knew them when they were like 9 years old. Esther Uribamishe, now a big girl, top table tennis player. Ajoke Ojomu, same with Taiwo Mati. You know, this is the story of you reaping what you sow. These guys came up from the cadet rank, got up to the juniors. Now they are competing at the highest level. So it tells you that It's about smart work. It's about consistency. It's about having a structure. It's about having people also who are passionate about the sport. When Enito Waido showed he left his role as NTTF president, he made sure that he was passing the baton on to someone that also had passion for the sport. So engineer Isha Kutikon is also doing a good job. Enito Waido showed he now moved to the Africa stage, representing Nigeria properly and making sure that some of the things he put in place when he was president of the Nigeria Table Tennis Federation is still going. Consistency, structure, and I love the fact that the Africa Table Tennis Federation, they're bringing more competitions to Nigeria, and that's a charge to us.
Okay, all right.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Place to win.
Okay. Yeah. Trying to make out some last parts of what Austin was saying, but we all do get a point. We all get a point that all these things that we're seeing now is product of hard work of years gone by, and we're seeing the result. All right, Alfred Okoligbe is with us as well. Let's bring in Alfred. Greetings to you, Alfred. Thanks for finding out time to be with us this lovely Friday evening.
Greetings, Yemi. Greetings, Ethan. Excited to be here. It's good that we're starting with table tennis today. One sport that over the years, for a while, we've dominated on the continent. Household names, the Atondamusas of this world, and everybody. How they dominated this. But now we have the man who has defied all tradition when it comes to where an African should be in the world of table tennis. Is one of is in the top 10. That's how big is rated. Talking about Aaron Quadri. And the thing that we are hosting this one, not for the first time. I mean, COVID has really dealt seriously on table tennis on the continent. Thank God that this is coming first for clubs. And all of 3 tournaments, like you mentioned, are back to back. So for table tennis fans like us and, of course, like journalists, the prospects are exciting. Because this is one sport that not only has style, intelligence, strength, speed, everything coming together. And for some of us, apart from playing football, if you look around, table tennis is one of the other sports that you always consider because any surface, whether it's rectangular or not, just put it together and you're good to go.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's move on from table tennis. There's a lot to unpack on the show tonight. Of course, let's go to basketball. Reactions trailing the federal government's decision to pull Nigeria out of international basketball for the next 2 years to do some house cleaning and sorting out ourselves and developing the game from the grassroots. Those are some of the reasons that has been given for the decision. So how are the stakeholders taking this decision? Well, what is the reaction? Our producer went to the streets and listened to basketball enthusiasts, players, coaches, all of the people that will be affected by this decision. And a report, a beautiful one I must say, was put together on their reactions, and this is just what happened.
Following the unending crisis that plagued and nearly crippled the development of basketball in Nigeria, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved the withdrawal of Nigeria from all international basketball competitions for a period of 2 years, immediate effect.
The decision of the federal government to withdraw Nigeria from participating in international basketball competition for 2 years did not come as a surprise. The Nigeria Basketball Federation has been embroiled in a power struggle spanning 8 years. Here, players and coaches of Lagos-based outfit Raptors undergo their routine training sessions in the hope of a career progression. But that isn't likely for now. This is the fate of many young basketballers scattered across the country and players based abroad hoping for a call to the national teams.
Talking about a country like Nigeria, and when you talk about basketball in Africa today, we are setting the pace. and both our men and female. How come by this time of 10, when Nigeria is going up in basketball, somebody will come from nowhere to ban basketball in Nigeria, talking about international outing.
The reason why you're playing basketball in the local scene is to get a slot to play in the international scene that FIBA is organizing. So now, if your country is banning you, you didn't enter their competition, what do you expect them to do? Pamper you and rob you and tell you welcome back? Hell no. It's not going to happen like that. They're not going to welcome you.
The withdrawal, according to them, hampers the domestic components of the game.
Since there's no international outing, and they talk about grassroots development, that grassroots development, I hope they're going to jump on it and start it, because they're not going to let us, be idle, we coaches on the ground. No anything, no international, no outing. And we already suffered. Going to 8 years right now, there's no league in Nigeria.
Before they banned the national team attending national competitions, they should have come up with something that will favor the local league, the local scene first. Now they've banned. So how long are we going to sit again? That 2 years before they come up with something that favors the local scene? It's a no. The best they could do right now that they think banning the national team from attending international competitions is the best thing, then they should now sit down, bring their heads together, come up with something that will favor the local league.
As Nigeria awaits the Federation of International Basketball Association's response, the expectations of these basketballers is a timely resolution of the crisis.
All right, we had to go out, feel the pulse of the people, and that's the reaction. The coaches speaking their minds, and we've dealt with this yesterday. We took a lot of time to look at it, and I guess there's not much to be said. Also, let me just quickly come to you. I know we'll have to start talking about boxing. You were quite busy today. Maybe a few words on word on the streets and how the people feel about the decision by the federal government.
Definitely, advocates of basketball will feel bad about it, particularly if you're in the active part of it. Active, players, coaches, instructors, trainers. They will feel bad because there's no level to look up to again. You've said 2 years, nothing is happening. So, for instance, the guy who is training and hoping that he gets into a club, cannot, think about going outside the country to play. People have been nursing ambition of representing the country at international competition. That's not going to happen. It's really sad. We talked about this last night and we almost got emotional because we know that the people who will suffer are those who are truly passionate and using basketball to empower their lives, But for administrators and custodians of the sport, they just don't care. For over 5 years, they don't care. This crisis, has been happening, and the D Tigers, as I mentioned yesterday, we're still going out there to give the country good representation. The D Tigers, at the thick of this crisis, getting ready for the Olympics, defeated the United States of America, placed Nigeria on the map. People were talking about that win, but administration has always been and still the problem. While we want to question the ministry for jumping into this without thinking it through or trying to once again speak to the both factions, we're also saying that if FIBA had done their job, had taken a strong stance, people that likened it to if it was FIFA, will it get to this level? FIBA didn't help matters. FIBA, as I said last night, should have taken a decision since 2017. And when they tried to, it now looked as if they were taking sides.
Yeah.
And so the other people decided to keep quiet. So it's tough. I feel so bad listening to those guys, particularly the coaches. It is what it is. But if this is what will make people sit down and know that the sport goes beyond their selfish interest, then maybe we're heading towards better days in Nigeria's basketball.
Maybe we are. All right, we need to just cool down a little and go on a break. When we return from that break, we get some reactions from the other guys on this matter. And, of course, we'll talk boxing. A lot is happening in the United Kingdom with regards boxers of Nigerian descent. In the UK, we'll talk about all of that. That will be when we return from this break. All right, welcome back. I think it's only fair to allow the guys say one or two things before we move on. A lot has been said. I mean, I don't think anything we'll say now will probably be different from what we said yesterday. But since this is their first opportunity on the show talking about this matter, let me go to Alfred quickly. Try and make it brief as you can. I know we can spend an hour talking about this issue, but as brief as you can. I mean, the reaction shows that majority of people do not like this decision.
Exactly so. It came to me as a shock yesterday when I heard it. I was like, at some point I tweeted and tagged some basketball people, please confirm if it is true. And when eventually dawned on me that what they were saying, and I was asking myself, if the reason I used for taking that decision is that the local league is not thriving as it were, and we're not doing enough locally. Now, apply that to the Super Eagles, where you have a thriving local league without the content in the national team. The ministry has not come out, or rather, the minister has not come out to say, I don't like the way this thing has gone. We have a league that is thriving, but the players are not good enough to play in the national team. Now, it begs the question, what really is the essence of if, for example, the Tigers, they are ranked 14th in the world, qualified for the World Cup. Now you deny them the opportunity of going to that World Cup. Now, why spend so much money qualifying in the first place? Why put everybody through the rigors of qualifying only for you to come to say and give us the lame excuse that the green is okay for the men and the women, because the women at least they are only the blame for. Give us the lame excuse to say that because of the infighting, and I mean, it begs the question. For me, I would say this is perhaps one of the darkest days when it comes to sports development in this country. The reasons I cannot wrap my head around, the reasons ideals for it are not only lame, but to say the least, they are something that we shouldn't be talking about. But that's where we found ourselves. Now, if the reaction out there is that, honorable, you didn't get this right. Have we done anything to remedy the situation? I mean, is it a question of, as the emperor, you will do what we want, or we will, we have given the order and they are going back about it? I mean, it's not good enough. It's not good enough as sport. It will go down in history as one of the worst decisions ever taken in sport, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it's not good enough. We expect better from those who have been given the responsibility of managing our sport.
Okay.
We expect better. And to tell us that the president ordered that, I mean...
I know. We could go on and on and on. I understand. Let me allow you to say something as well. Yeah. This time, maybe you'll make it brief.
Yeah, very brief. I'll make a passionate appeal.
Yes.
To the two factions that are fighting. This is 8 years.
Yes.
If they really love the sports, they should withdraw, step back, and allow other people take it forward.
Not even step aside. Withdraw.
8 years. What are you fighting for? If you really love the sports, and you are looking at it, players are not playing, the league is not going on, please, can you just withdraw, and allow these players to have a league, participate, and earn a living? It's unfortunate. It's only in Africa that the administrators are bigger than the main actors. Only in Africa.
More popular than the key actors.
Than the key actors. They don't play basketball. Maybe they play when they're but they don't play the basketball. They're not the ones people are paying to see. But they are the ones that make sure they are more popular than the main actors.
And they earn more.
It is an abnormality. It's not right.
All right. It's not right. It's not right. All right, we have to move on. We have to move on. Let me yield the floor to Austin now. Like I said, Austin was quite busy today. A lot was happening at the Nigerian house in London. Of course, in London. In the United Kingdom, I dare say, you have a lot of boxers spread across. You just begin to see Nigerian names here and there. Some of them representing Britain, but not forgetting where they're coming from. A lot of them representing with Nigeria, and Austin caught up with one of them today as well.
Yeah, Yemi was a good day for boxing in Nigeria. Once again, British Nigerian cruiserweight boxer Richard Riper visited the Nigeria house. Remember, last month we had Lawrence Okoli. He just left Nigeria and then came to the High Commission to say, look, I'm 100% Nigerian. Yes, we have this British tag, but we love Nigeria. We want to do more. That's the High Commissioner right there welcoming Richard Riper and, of course, Ben Gray. What's the essence of this visit? To, create more solidarity, to give this young man a sense of belonging. He loves his Niger side. In March, he went to Maiduguri. Some of us have not been to Maiduguri. He joined the United Nations Foundation team to go and see what is actually happening in Maiduguri and see how it can be a source of motivation to young talents. And he said, Austin, they were saying to me, they want to be a police officer, they want to be in the army, but now they're saying they want to be boxers because Richard took a beautiful story to them. Richard is getting ready for his title eliminator fight that will come up in June. If he wins that fight, he's going to have a shot at the title. And guess who he will go against? Another British Nigerian, Lawrence Okoli, who is the current cruiserweight champion. So it tells you that Nigeria is positioned for great things with boxing in the UK. And Richard and the High Commission, they're looking at ways that they can maybe bring that fight when he's ready for a title shot to Lagos, where two British Nigerians, Lawrence Okoli and hopefully Richard, will be fighting. Beautiful story. I caught up with Richard right after the visit, and he had this to say about supporting young boxers from Nigeria.
When I ask the kids, what do you want to be? They're saying they want to be doctors, they want to be lawyers, they want to be in sports, they want to be in the army, on land, and they saw what I did. Now they said I want to be boxers now. So they're asking me, how can I help them? And me, it hit me. I started to think, how can I help these beautiful kids with dreams, and they want to fulfill them. They don't understand the complexities of environment and stuff like that. And I said I'll do everything that I can. So it was a real eye opener. A lot of my parents and people, my family, have never been to that city because it's like red zone, very dangerous. But we are blessed and we believe that we'll be safe. We went there and it was a blessing that I got to see, and I was invited into the communities. So we want to do more, connect with Nigeria, show them that there's anything is possible.
That's the word I picked, Alfred and Ikena. I said, we want to do more. We want to connect with Nigeria. Richard has got a very touching, interesting story. He was born in East London, was a proper street boy. Boxing changed his life. So that's why we worry sometimes when people are playing with sports in Nigeria, Alfred, because sports, particularly boxing, has the power to transform lives.
Exactly, something that would out from my mouth. I mean, now we're celebrating somebody that the system out there changed the story. We have basketballers here who want to write their story too, and some people are stopping that dream. I don't think it's good enough. It's not fair. They can't find a way around it and not tell us that for the next 2 years. What if the federation now they are not ready for us in the next years? What do we do? We've not found a solution. The last 5 years or 3 years thereabouts, since this administration has been on ground, all of a sudden, 2 years, when it's less than a year for this administration to wind down, and he's telling us 2 years, and where that will get us. I mean, the system has to work. The people entrusted with the responsibility of making this system work has to make it work.
True. Totally agree with you. Totally agree with you. Ikenna, let me get you talking before we drop this. Ikenna, before independence, Nigeria had produced world champions, not just boxers, world champions in boxing. Diki Etu Tiger and Hogan Kidbasi. And I'm sure if we leave us, we will name from Obisian Wakpa to Jerry Kurududu. Names. We have produced champions. What is the story of boxing today in Nigeria?
Very sad. Very sad. I remember, as I reading out the names, I remember Jola Sisi versus Okrodudu. That was around in the 80s. It was as popular in Nigeria here as the Rumble in the Jungle. We were all expecting that fight, the toss and everything. So it shows you how big boxing was in Nigeria back in the days. But somehow it went down. Through infighting administration, they renamed the Boxing Association from one name to the other. We know what happened. But I'm happy that at least we are getting it back on track. And also tapping into our diaspora, even if we are not the ones making the moves. They are the ones, coming down here. And to Joshua has been here, trying to inspire young ones. We can do a lot. We can even, not just the guys, British-born Nigerians. There are also American-born Nigerians. There are also Nigerians, boxers in Nigeria here. How can we create a platform for the three to meet or for all of them to meet? Can we have successive tournaments? Can we bring their fights here to make sure that the popularity of sports? And one thing about big fights is that when you have big fights, there are undercards. There are other weights that can come in. So from that level, somebody can come in and become popular. So we need to do a lot. We need to do a lot. They are doing it individually. They are reaching out to us. It's for us to accept them, to also create a platform where they can also tap into. So it's a very, very good one. It's a lovely one. And a cheering news is that he went to Medigree to inspire a lot of people. And that is amazing.
So that's the story right there. We will continue to monitor it, particularly British Nigerians who are doing so well with boxing. Let's get on with the show now. Let me hand it over to you. Take us through the Nigeria Professional Football League.
All right. Of course, I was lucky the other time, but I won't try it again today. I'm not going to make any predictions. So let's just take a look at matchday 28 fixtures. And of course, there are no better people to be with than the guys I'm with tonight when it comes to the Nigeria Professional Football League. So the Kada matchday 28 fixtures is what you have on your screen. The Kada will take on Abia Warriors, Eimba will take Lobby Stars, Heartland will take on Rivers United, Kaduna United will take on Nasarawa United, Kwara United will take on Shooting Stars, Plateau United will take on Wiki Tourists, Niger Tornadoes taking on Gombe. Sunshine Stars will take on Hakwa United, MFM will be up against Kano Pillars, and of course, Remo Stars will be up against Rangers. Of course, it's interesting. Plateau United playing at home, Rivers playing away. I don't know, maybe we'll see something. But Ikenna, let me quickly come to you. If you were going to pick 2-3 fixtures, which ones will it be? Or of what game do you think will have a lot of significance, maybe on the title race or on the teams who get to drop?
Fixture number 1. Remo Stars versus Rangers.
Okay.
That's an outstanding feature. And because they are both fighting for that continental ticket. So it's going to be a very, very, very difficult game at Ikene. So Rangers has been, they've really done well, especially away from home. But Remo Stars has been a bit inconsistent. They did do their job in the first stanza of the season. But right now, they're not consistent when it comes to away games. But now, playing Rangers they are veterans, they are good travelers. Actually, this last few weeks. So it's going to be one game to look out for. Then Rivers United versus Heartland. It's an opportunity for Rivers United to stake their claim on the title. It's not far from, it's just a 1-hour drive from Port Harcourt. Then Heartland is very, very unreliable this season. In fact, a lot of people have ticked them for relegation. So Rivers United have an opportunity with their star power, with the kind of quality they have up front. They have that ability to got something from Owerri.
Okay.
So if they do that, definitely they are inching closer to that title. Plateau United Wiki Tourists. Well, I'll just give it to Plateau United. It's a home run. Then Last week, I was on the Enyimba's case, but this week, and they did pick a draw in Uyo, so which was remarkable, actually. And Austin helped me to understand that it's not over yet for them getting a continental ticket, and that I agree. I probably made a mistake last week for predicting that, but right now, playing Lobby Stars, I think they can pick up all 3 points to also
continue the
fight. And that game I have to pick out is Takada Abia Warriors. Simply is a relegation 6-pointer.
Wow. You are losing 6 points.
Yes.
All right. Okay, let's go to Alfred now. His thoughts on these matches, the ones to look out for, and probably the ones that could determine some things on the league table.
Promising fixtures. For Rivers United, they have to make a statement this weekend with that game against Atlant. Atlant, they are just sitting there on the precipice because the lower rung of the league, especially that relegation zone, is so crowded. One positive result, but once Atlant has one thing against them, the teams that you expected running for the title, Plateau United, for example, they are beating in Owerri. And, when the big players come, the players will want to raise their game. But for Rivers United, they have 2 players invited to the Super Eagles team that will play international friendly. The Ecuador and the Mexico game. Chiamaka Madu and the Sharks are the highest goal scorer. Chiamaka Madu, former Rangers player, and joined Rivers United, hard-working midfielder. So I think we have to make a statement like you said. That is a debut of some sort. Between Port Harcourt and Owerri, it's about an hour drive. So that is one thing that I'm looking for. Heartland will know that a win for them will give them a sort of respite at that bottom and make their escape bid a bit easier. While Rivers United will be looking to consolidate at top. Presently, they have a 7-point lead at the top, and they want to consolidate on that. For the Remo versus Rangers team, tough one. Gabe Gugumbote was the coach of Rangers International Campus. Know the setup, know the players, know how they play. And it's really reflected in the first part of the season where they got something off Rangers in Lewy. This time around, Rangers coming, beautiful ground to play football. Rangers formed a way in the second stanza were a big safety, especially when the second stanza of the league started. I think with points on the road against MFM, perhaps it would have given them confidence. But we say MFM. MFM lost to teams like Wichita, it's lost to Rivers United and some other teams in Lagos. So that you might not say it's a big plus for them, but they need to make a statement if they get something off Remo, because between the third and fourth on the log, a lot is counting on that game. While for Plateau United, it's simple. For you to cut down the lead at the top, get a win against Wigan Forest. But that too is the level of result. Between Bochi and Jos, I served in Bochi. The nearest town to Bochi is Jos. So it's a derby. Expect the fans to throng to come to Jos. So that one is a derby. So Plateau has to really be careful. I feel really people have shown that team is a well-oiled team. They get results once in a while.
Okay, all right. Before we go on a break, let's go quickly look at what's going to happen on the continent. CAF Confederation Cup and CAF Champions League semi-final second leg matches to be played over the weekend. Let's give you a confirmation of how it stands for now in the semi-final. CAF Champions League is what we are starting with on your screen. You have Wydad Casablanca, and of course, it's live, 1-1 with Petro Atletico. It's live, but as it stands, it's 4-2 on aggregate. If it ends like this, Wydad will advance. Then the second one, second semi-final is between Aton Setif and Al Ahly. And just like Ikena predicted, I think 2 weeks ago. Last week, I mean, easy peasy for Al Ahly, clean sweep, and Aton Setif will probably have to score 5 goals, 5 unreplied goals, if they want to win outright, 4 to drag it to penalties. That's the CAF Champions League. Take a look at the CAF Confederation Cup. You have Orlando Pirates and Al Ahly Tripoli. I mean, they have a massive advantage against Al Ahly Tripoli. So we'll see what happens. They're leading 2-0 on aggregate, courtesy of victory in the first leg. Then, of course, the last one is RS Bakane up against TP Mazembe. TP Mazembe won the last game. So on aggregate, it's 1-0. RS Bakane needs to score 2 unreplied goals to win this one. Probably a goal to drag it to penalties. You never can tell what will happen in this sort of matches. We need to go on a break right about now. When we return, we'll reserve the minutes we have left to talk about what is going to happen tomorrow, the oldest cup competition in the world. That's the FA Cup. But first, we need to go on a break, and we'll return for more Sports Tonight. All right, we're on the home stretch, and of course, we'll reserve the few minutes we have left to take a look at the FA Cup and, of course, the English Premier League. Let me yield the floor to Austin now. It's happening in his backyard, the FA Cup. Of course, Liverpool's, hopes of a quadruple, it looks like it might not happen because City are flying in the league. But that's it on your screen. Chelsea and Liverpool's. Chelsea in with a shout as well. I mean, it's a final. Anybody can win in a final. But Austin, ahead of this crucial encounter, what's the mood like?
The mood is this big, it's the FA Cup. It comes with so much, pomp, comes with so much prestige, loads of talking points. When you've got Chelsea going against Liverpool, then that sort of game will get us talking. For Liverpool, we know what they're chasing. Chelsea, this is just what they want. So it makes it a very interesting, tie. So wait to see what will go down on Sunday. But if you want to go by what the bookmakers are saying, you could just tell that easily they're giving the game to Liverpool. But we know what Chelsea can do when it comes to cup competition. So we'll just wait for that to be played and we'll get the guys to talk about it. But let's listen to Jurgen Klopp. He's been reacting about this game. So let's listen to him on Combo Gayken and Alfred talking.
When you start a journey of what we did obviously 6-7 years ago, you cannot have it all. So that's how it is. And we had not the squad for going for all. That's how it is. So we had to make changes. Everybody makes changes during a FA Cup campaign, during a Carabao Cup campaign. That's how it is. But some teams, when they make changes, you don't realize it. They make changes. It's still a great team. That was for us the case this year, not all the time, because we had a lot of really young talents in this competition involved as well. The most important thing when you start new, if you want, is to qualify for the Champions League. So that's what you have to do. That's the most important stuff, because that gives you the resources for making the next step. That's the truth. That gives you the chance to sign players who want to play Champions League, all these kind of things. And that's why everything else has to stay left and right. So and that's how we had to do it. But it was never that we didn't want to go to the final. Not at all. It's just we didn't have the power, manpower to do it. And that's why we lost. I don't think we were particularly lucky with our draws, to be honest. We had really tough opponents as well. But that's absolutely fine. And so now, who cares what happened the last 6-7 years? It's our first final, FA Cup final. And we are really, really, really desperate to win it. That's how it is. We want.
Let's see Jurgen Klopp saying they're desperate to win it. So we'll get to see. Set the record straight. The game is on Saturday, not Sunday. So it's tomorrow.
All right. Let's also listen. I mean, we have to be fair here. Let's listen to Thomas Tuchel, what he has to say about the game. Then we'll come back and allow the guys have their say and we'll wrap things up. But let's listen to the Chelsea manager have his say on the show tonight.
It's a big achievement to be in these finals. And there has to be, unfortunately, a loser. And in these finals, it's a special energy, it's a special atmosphere, it's a special momentum that you have to catch. And for sure, you need a piece of luck to go away with a trophy. We are aware of that, but we feel again well prepared, and the atmosphere is right. The the momentum is okay after the reaction in Leeds, and everybody knows what we're up to, and we want to arrive, of course, to give Liverpool a hard fight. It will be down to margins, and it will be down to details within the match. We are facing one of the very best coaches and one of the very best teams in the world right now. This is obvious, and it's proven over the last years and recent weeks, and we're up for the fight.
All right, he's ready for the fight. All right, so we have less than 2 minutes. It's always tough. We have to get the guys to say something. Let me start with Ikena. We'll just make it as far as possible. Sure. Who do you think is going to win this one?
It's a cup final. We've seen Wigan win. We've seen Leicester win. Liverpool.
All right, very fast. Alfred, who do you think is going to win this?
I think Chelsea wants to make a statement. The pressure of winning the quadruple might just have taken a toll on Liverpool. I'm tilting more to the blue side.
Okay, Alfred is tilting more to the blue side. Okay, if you want to know where I'm tilting, I'm not going to say anything.
To blue side, say Chelsea, Alfred.
I'm not going to tilt to the blue side. I don't want to ask Austin. It won't be fair. Since I didn't say anything, it wouldn't be fair if I ask him to say anything. But I don't know if he wants to. Okay. All right. Let's leave it at that. Obviously, we don't have much time, but I want to thank the guys for tonight. Ikena Okichugwendo, I want to thank you for the time on the show tonight. Always appreciated. Alfred Okuligwe as well. Thank you for finding out time to be with us on the show tonight.
Pleasure, man, always.
All right. And thank you as well for allowing us into your homes. We have to rush out of the studio. But once again, thank you for allowing us to be a part of your day. We'll do this again next week. From the city of Lagos, right here in Nigeria, I'm Yemi Adebayo saying bye-bye.
It's always a delight to have you join us on the show. Let's do this again in London. I'm Austin Okonakpan. In everything you do, remember, let's keep talking sports. Bye for now.